Talker's Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay, yay!
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hit his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
What do women need to bring to the table? It's not just a man that needs to bring something to the table. We do too. And here's a list based on experience, research that I came up with. So take out your pen and paper. Let's get into it, family. Number one, she needs to be nurturing. Is she gonna be the mother of your kids and all? Number two, capacity and willingness to respect you as a man. Number three, to be understanding of most men's innate pressure to perform in order to provide for his family. Be understanding of that. The next one is not to add to that pressure. It's already heavy enough. Next is to be supportive. Strength of character, moral compass, God-fearing. Intelligent and competent, she's loyal. And last but not least, does not allow for outside voices to impact the dynamics of the relationship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building with a weekender. I gotta end it tonight. Lord have mercy. Why are so many people concerned about what you bring to the table? And I'm hearing her, the young lady, what's her name, Andy, do you know?
Samantha Lee.
Samantha Lee. And she said some pretty good things, right? I thought it was pretty fair, a fair list. But I'm here to tell you, there's another table that people are not talking about. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? An intriguing look at moving on versus carrying on. What do you mean, Zoe? See, there's this other table, right, where you carry a bunch of mess from previous situations, unresolved issues. what was it, Erykah Badu? She called it a bag lady. Well, it's a bag man too. But what are you bringing to the psycho-spiritual table? First off, nurturing can be performed. Empathy can be performed. We talked about it yesterday, where empathy is dying in America. It's about performance, right? So all the things that she mentioned can be performed, right? Oh yeah, Truemonger called it a spirit hoarder, right? Or an internal baggage hoarder. What else are you bringing to this psycho-spiritual table? You say, well, Zoe, what is a psycho-spiritual? From your psychology, your thoughts and behaviors, and then what are you carrying in your spirit that I can't see? See, we all can perform like we got it together. See, it's easy to move on, right? Or it's difficult to move on. It's much harder, or it's much easier to carry on. What do you mean by that, Zoe? When you can move on, I wrote a book in 2015. It's called The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship, available on Amazon.com in multiple formats. You see it in paperback, Audible, Kindle, whatever. Stick the landing, meaning there's no residue from the past situation still on you or within you, right? And I mean psycho-spiritual residue. No more resentment, no more frustration. You can release and let things go. But many people don't move on, they carry on. See, it's easy to end the relationship and carry all of this psycho-spiritual debris into the next relationship. And you must remember, typically that psycho-spiritual debris, right, is imperceptible, right? It's imperceptible. You can't see it. So the person comes in, behaves right, acts right, thinks right, talks right, vibes right, and you think it is right. Not necessarily. Are y'all ready? What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? A non-linear excavation of relational debris disguised as love in an age where relationships have become performative rituals of unconscious repetition. The real question is no longer what do you bring to the table, but why do you continue serving expired truths on a plate you refuse to wash? Tonight's topic, man, we're going to detonate the myth of moving on. We're going to expose it as emotional gentrification, a psychological remodeling project where trauma is repackaged, wounds are rebranded as wisdom, and spiritual clutter is mistaken for growth. Huh? Most of us aren't moving forward. We're carrying on. We're dragging the corpses of the past selves, right? Like trophies wrapped in incense with affirmation. 1-800-920-1580. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Krishnamurti insisted that true observation requires the death of evaluation. But observation is rare, especially objective observation. But observation is rare in a culture addicted to reenactment. The character one adopts. Ooh, that's how I'm going to carry on. I'm going to adopt a character of unbothered. I'm going to adopt the character of I'm good. I'm going to adopt the character of I'm over it. The character one adopts in love is often a curated artifact, an emotional avatar engineered to seduce validation while concealing vulnerability. According to Jean Piaget, right? Our early relational schemas harden like psychic calluses. Man, Do you know what a relational schema? Listen, according to Jean Piaget, our early relational schemas harden like psychic calluses, rarely reviewed, barely questioned. Thus, romantic partners become less of a choice and more of a karmic summons. Animated echoes of our unresolved self-concept. Enter the spiritual hoarder, the one who quotes Rumi but refuses to unclench their victim narrative. They cleanse their crystals, but not their ego. They burn sage while hoarding grief and mistake vibrational residue for a personality. As Pema Chodron notes, nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Yet, in our attempts to bypass pain, we decorate our internal landfill instead. Our landfill is crazy. An internal trash, a trash dump, a garbage dump, an internal landfill is diabolical. Yet, in our attempt to bypass pain, we decorate our internal landfill instead of composting it into presence. Healing becomes aesthetic. Dysfunction gets a halo. Alfred Korzybski, one of my favorites as well, his work on general semantics, especially his seminal distinction that the map is not the territory, right? I love the other one, he says. The definition creates the condition. So many of you are self-defined, right? Oh, here we go. As victim, self-defined as I had nothing to do with it. It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask for this, right? So many of us are like that we miss actually our true participation, our true contribution into the things that we say, into the realities that we live in, that we say we don't want, right? Alfred Korzybski says it so plainly, though. The map is not the territory. It unlocks a profound relational koan. Are you hip to koans in Zen Buddhism? A famous koan is, what is the sound of one hand clapping? These types of questions are designed to get you to think outside of the box. So does Alfred Korzybski's E prime, right? And again, his distinction, that seminal distinction, the map is not the territory, unlocks a profound relational koan. Most of what we call truth in love is linguistic possession, not perception. Language, right, ossifies fluid states into fixed identities. She is available. He is toxic. Yet, E prime forces the speaker to reckon with perception rather than projection. It deconstructs our certainty, making space for subjectivity, and in doing so, invites actual dialogue rather than defensive monologue. Insecure attachment, as outlined by John Bowlby, Levine, and Dr. Romney, it doesn't crave intimacy, right? It craves familiarity. Trauma bonds are the comfort food of the psyche. High in drama, low in nourishment. What looks like chemistry is often your nervous system identifying a reenactment opportunity. Your type, likely your trauma with a different face. What we call love is often a rehearsed performance of our unmet needs. And you say, Zoe, why are you so harsh tonight? Why I gotta be all like that, Zoe? Why relationships got? Because somebody had never told you the truth. And this is a truth-telling platform. What do you bring to the table? The psycho-spiritual table. You can bring your degrees. You can bring your bank account. You can bring your cars, your home. You can bring your success. But if you don't know what's on the psycho-spiritual table, if you don't know what you got packed in your shadow bags that you are carrying to the next relationship, it doesn't matter what you have or what you've accomplished. The only thing in relationships that matter is what you healed. It's what you healed over what you have. Ooh, some people got fake peace. Some people got quiet and they think it's peace. Some people have predictability, right? And they think predictability and don't say that, so I sometimes I want to say things and I don't want to lose people. I don't want to offend people. Right? But let me tell you, tonight's topic is designed to trigger, right? I want you to think deeply about what I'm saying, right? Are we self-unaware of this darkness that we ourselves are responsible for bringing into the relationship? Is it our partner's responsibility to kind of perform around this darkness? How do they perform around the darkness? They capitulate to our expectations of them, right? High in drama, low in nourishment. Are you in a relationship like that? Are you rehearsing love? What have you carried into this relationship? I want to know. To move on in its most sacred sense is not to date someone new or to adopt a new language. It is to become naked to identity, to divest from the performance of coherence, and to embody the paradox that healing happens when you stop trying to be healed. To clean the plate is not sterile. Excuse me. The clean plate, let me say it to you right. The clean plate is not sterile. It is a surrendered plate. It does not scream, I'm ready. It whispers, I'm empty. This inquiry on the Voice of Reason tonight will demand that we transcend the binaries of readiness versus resistance, worthiness versus wounding, love versus lack. It dares us to ask whether your partner is a soulmate or a soul mirror, reflecting your hoarded pain, whether your love language is authentic or a trauma dialect in disguise. When we come forward, the Voice of Reason gonna slap us all upside the dome piece.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At K.
What we on? Everybody good? Everybody solid? Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. 3 years in, please hit that like button. How is it that we could be habituated by society? We could be conditioned by society. You know you got to do whatever society says do. That light turned yellow, you better slow down. That light turned green, you better go. That light turned red, you better stop. But if you come into a damn chat room, one of your favorite chat rooms, somebody got to tell you to hit the like button, please. I don't understand it. You're programmed. You get in the car, you hear the beep. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, shit, let me put my seatbelt on. You're programmed to put the seatbelt on. You go to school, you hear the bell ring. You running your ass to class. Late or not, that bell scares you. 12 o'clock, ding, 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 and lunchtime. You controlled, conditioned. But somebody tell you, hit the like button. Subscribe, share. I don't want to do that. Let me figure out what's going on. Say that shit in school or at work. Go on. Now, if you know, you know I'm just talking crazy. Hey, who saw that? Hey, who saw my son out there at the Rucker wilding yesterday? Who saw it? Did Zoe just snap like a twig? New gonna new. That's exactly. I'm like, I was talking to him like, hey man. So listen, when you go overseas, them damn seasons be long. So shit, he was gone for 9 months. It's 9 months of hoop. Now they don't play like every other day or back-to-backs. They don't do that. But they play once a week. By the end of the season, he got tendonitis in both knees. I'm like, man, you're supposed to be resting. You're not supposed to be at the goddamn Rucker dunking.
Hey guys, I'm Heidi Plebe. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This month on this channel, we're talking about neuroticism. And today in particular, I want to talk about a neurotic dynamic that tends to underlie anxious-avoidant relationship dynamics. So anxious-avoidant relationships are essentially any relationship where one partner has and is expressing more anxious attachment wounds, and the other partner has or is expressing more avoidant attachment wounds. And very often when we get into these relationships, what it feels like is we just can't seem to find common ground. We just can't seem to make sense of why these conflicts go on and don't get resolved, why it feels like we're not seeing eye to eye. And what I want to talk about today is the underlying reason why that often is. So anytime we're having an argument, we are generally having a couple arguments at once. One is the kind of top layer, surface level argument. So you didn't do the dishes, or you never text me back on time, or I know you don't like your sister-in-law, just admit it to me, I already know it. When in reality, we're having a conflict that's actually a lot deeper than that under the surface. Now, what's distinct between anxious-avoidant or insecurely attached dynamics and secure dynamics is that in secure dynamics, what's under the surface is generally not that deeply obscured from the people having the argument. So securely attached people tend to have less blind spots that are guiding their behavior and causing them to go into conflict somewhat blind to their true intentions. Whereas when you have anxious-avoidant couples or mutually insecurely attached couples of any attachment orientation, what often happens is you have two people who are very frequently arguing from their unconscious blind spots. So what they're saying the problem is truly, consciously, what they believe the problem is.
Like
But
VOR.
very often a deeper subconscious wound that's being expressed or that's being avoided through the argument that's more indicative of the real reason why they're in conflict. So today what we're going to talk about is how to start becoming more aware of what it is that you're actually arguing about if you're in one of these anxious, avoidant, or insecurely attached relationships, as well as how we can start moving to a more secure style of conflict. So very often what I believe is going on under the surface of these anxious avoidant dynamics is that there's a fundamental mismatch in each party's premise about what the relationship is and what purpose they want it to serve in their lives.
I
But
love
very
that, Jack.
often both people in the partnership have the same conscious or explicit relationship intention. So they might both come in going, yeah, I want a partner to spend my life with. And they might think that they're aligned on what it is they're looking for in a relationship, when in reality, these unconscious wounds are actually driving them to look at the relationship very differently. And the problem is that when we're triggered, when we are in conflict, when we are under threat, those unconscious wounds start arguing on our behalf. So we are no longer operating from the rational part of our brains that knows consciously and explicitly what we want out of our partnerships. We're now arguing from the part of ourselves that has partnership as a concept represented in a way that is actually quite different from our conscious or explicitly stated views of what a partnership is and what role we want it to fill in our lives. So if you're insecurely attached, it's highly likely that your own conscious and unconscious ideas about what you want out of your relationship are not aligned. And then when you get into conflict with your partner, if you're both insecurely attached, you're probably arguing unconscious to unconscious.
It's on fire tonight.
Heidi Preeb. Smashing. It's good. What up, everybody? I appreciate all the likes that are coming through. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Jack Brazen, you haven't called in a while. Rest in heaven, Dr. G. We need to hear Jack Brazen on the phone lines, because you be cooking in the chat for sure. And you know this is the last show of the week. You guys want to call in? Please call in. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Hey, who calling in tonight? Who's calling in? Yo! Get to your phone lines! The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Flood the phone lines. Everybody hit that like button. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Flood the phone lines. Let's get it. And let's get a roll call going. We got John Gilbreth up in here. Diamond Blue. Victory is non-negotiable. Attila, we already know what's cracking with Attila. Who else is in here? Say what's up right now. Let's get that city roll out. Roll call. Who's up in here? And I know you be in the background hiding. Say what's up. Say what's up. Say what's up. Jack Brazen up in here. Ida up in here. So the wound reaction is automatic and reckless side of the game. I see you. Nelton, what up? Great call last night, Nelton. Really appreciated it, sir. Thank you. We up in here. I appreciate the likes, man. We officially have more likes than people up in here. I love that. 39 likes, 38 people. So I'm back on the links tomorrow. Why not? Why not? Have you guys had a great week? I think the topics have been good this week. I think the topics have been really good this week. The feedback that I've been getting is, yo, the topics are crazy. Crazy good. Nikki from the Sips topic was like, what in the world? And what cities? I asked y'all, what cities are? I know we got Houston, we got Dallas. Let me see. We got Atlanta, we got Hawaii. Diamond Blue, where you at? We got San Francisco. The week flew by fast as hell. Man, when the shows are flying by, I know, boy, Kirk from Chattanooga, that's hometown. What up, Chattanooga? Yeah, the topics have been heavy. Blue Diamond straight from Compton. Come on. Hub City. The town in a mart. In the town in my heart. Oh, okay. Got you. What cities? Roll call. City roll call, man. My dad tried to teach me tennis when I was younger. I hit that shit like baseball. He said, "Yeah, let's try hoops." You stupid. He said, "Yeah, let's go to another sport." Here we go.
That's the first thing the universe wants from you. Not effort, not strain, not this desperate clawing at life's doors, just stillness, just presence, just you being you. You see all this running, this chasing, this need to make it happen, it's noise. And in that noise, we lose the subtle whispers of the cosmos trying to show us another way. The universe, in its grand design, does not strive. The tree does not push the leaves out. The sun does not scream to rise. The rivers do not argue their flow. And yet everything gets done, life unfolds. Seasons change, flowers bloom, not with effort, but with alignment. And so it is with you. The more you try to grab at life, the more it slips between your fingers like sand. But if you allow, truly allow, life begins to move toward you, not away from you. You've been taught that to succeed, to have love, to find purpose, you must work harder, strive more, burn out before you break through. But the truth is almost the opposite. The more you strain, the more you interfere with the natural rhythm that's already trying to deliver what you've been asking for. You are a part of the universe, not separate from it. When you relax into your own being, you tune yourself to the same frequency as the things you desire. You become a receiver, not a struggler. Imagine for a moment...
Hey, listen. Between Heidi Priebe, who was the previous clip, and Alan Watts, in the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, they are cooking. But, see, when you're carrying on, you're struggling. One of the hardest things is to get into alignment with self. Listen, you study psychology. They're depending on what what field you're in. There's a section where it's going to go the old white guys, the founders, the old white guys. You're going to learn about them, right? Carl Jung is one of the old white guys, right? He sat at the feet of an old brown guy from India, J. Krishnamurti. Right? Individuation is alignment with self. There's another old brown guy by the name of Siddhartha Gautama, right? Who later became known as the Buddha. Right? Buddhism born out of Hinduism. Siddhartha was a Hindu prince. He saw three things outside of his protected palace that changed him forever: poverty, sickness, and death. Then he went on a self journey, and the only way he came into enlightenment was to defeat his own demons. Buddha's story is 500 years before Christ. You think Carl Jung wasn't inspired by it? You got to go inside. Nah, I'm going to go outside and get a person, right, to, listen to what I'm saying, to conform to the anxiety, right, to the brokenness, to the dysfunction that I have integrated into my identity. A good partner would show up and be able to cater and maneuver around all of the stuff that I brought to the proverbial psycho-spiritual table. That's a good person. That's the partner for me. No. Y'all got it backwards. Whether your love language is authentic or a trauma dialect in disguise, whether your table is an altar or a landfill curated with spiritual jargon. Everybody got the jargon, right? You know, relationship is a mirror. Come on, man. We're going on the 10th anniversary of the Relationship Dismount book. Krishnamurti said that in the 20s, in the teens. Christ. Now that we got the jargon down, you have to embody the jargon in a quantum field of relating, as Thomas Campbell and Rahmana Maharishi imply. Selfhood, egoic selfhood, is an illusion refracted through interaction, the mirror of relationship. When we stop needing others to complete us, we begin to meet them as they are, not as roles in our unhealed screenplay. This is not about readiness, it's about releasing. Not becoming perfect, but becoming porous. Right? So again, what do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Hopefully nothing. Is it possible to bring nothing? I do believe so. Again, I go back to the conversation I had with the brother at the cigar lounge earlier this week. It's not that many people out there that can do that, Zoe. That's rare. No, that's your justification for not even trying. How many people out there could really do this? You trying to get people to be superhumans. Man, you sound like Luke Skywalker talking to Yoda. You guys remember that? I'm just old. Man, it's an old reference. You guys don't remember? Luke Skywalker, Empire Strikes Back. Yoda's training him on Dagobah, right, in the swamp. And Yoda is telling him, hey, do you judge me by my size? He said, and if you do, you would make a dear mistake because my ally is the Force. And he says, the Force is all around us. It permeates the rock, the tree, me, you, the ship. He's telling him. Because Yoda asked Luke, hey man, use the Force to pull your ship out of the swamp. Luke tried, he failed. He said, why are you going all deep on a damn Star Wars movie? Okay, well, I'll say it the other way. Peter was asked to walk on water, and he took a few steps, and he stumbled. It's the same story. It's just rewritten for the movies. A little green elf is in the Jesus role here. The first thing Jesus said when he grabbed Peter from drowning and pulled him up, he said, "O ye of little faith." Luke tries to lift the ship, can't. He turns to Yoda and says, "You want the impossible." He walks further into the jungle and sits down and pouts like a little kid. Yoda then closes his eyes and lifts Luke Skywalker's ship out of the swamp and lands it. And he's going crazy. Oh my God, you did that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is what he's telling Yoda. I can't believe it. And you know what Yoda says? It's the same. Jesus says, "Oh, ye of little faith." You know what Yoda says to Luke Skywalker? Luke Skywalker says, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." And he goes, "And that is why you fail." See, we're so focused on the person showing up right so we can take a self-vacation. Right? So focused. Right? We want a self-vacation. Yeah, all you got to do is be cool. Just be at peace, man. If you peace and I'm peace, that's quiet. That's not peace. That's two people having a commitment to not irritate each other. But the irritation is part of the initiation. The initiation into self. What do you think masonry is? Right? Right? Speculative mason. Not masonry, not operative masonry. An operative mason can build a castle with those tools. The plumb line, the compass, right? The gavel, right? He could, out of stone, right? Speculative Mason, on the other hand, is building himself. That's what these secret societies were about. The mystery schools were about the spiritual knowledge of understanding self, elevating to such a degree that you touch the hemline of God consciously. That's when you see that your ego is so small. But no, we want to carry all this mess. We'd rather carry on than move on. Do you see? To be able to move on, right, is to, hey, I'm free of the entanglement. I'm free of the bondage, the residue. Everything about human beings is pattern making. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine, right? Your body records trauma. Soon as you experience something you experienced as a child, if it was very traumatic, instantly back to that moment. Everything is patterns. You were raised in a home. That's a pattern. A parental pattern modeled how you viewed relations. Everything is a pattern. And that's why you don't understand unconditional love, because that which is unconditioned, i.e. God and love, have no pattern. That's why you have to reduce it down to what you do, how you show up for me. Listen, if you were born in a situation that gave you an insecure attachment style, you were born to be a manipulator. To manipulate the things that you need. You got to be able to, because it wasn't given to you. So you learned how to get it. You don't know what it means to bring nothing to the psycho-spiritual table. That's why you put so much emphasis on society. Where does he work? How much money he got? Can he afford this? Can we go traveling? Can we eat wherever I want? Can we go to concerts? Can we, What? And then the inverse. She better be pretty. She better be fine. She better cook for me. She better nurture me. She better give it to me whenever I ask for it. It's all performative. It's all fake. Until you conquer you, it's all fake. What are you bringing to the psycho-spiritual table, and how come nobody told you how to clean that table, clear that table? Wash them wounds as you go. Isn't that how you wash? Isn't that how you clean your kitchen while you're cooking in it? When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking.
Some straight talk. This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're...
What do y'all think? Talk to your brother. What do you think about tonight's topic? Hey, man. Mr. Gilbreth, thank you for being so consistent.
And I know you're tired of pretty
Thank you.
gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Listening since 2008, man. Have you learned something? And I say that in the most sincere way. Because if you've been listening since 2008, that's almost 20 years ago. That's 17 years. I'm hoping that I've been able to impart something. Or maybe I started off here, right? Maybe I started off at one level, and maybe you've been watching since 2008 and you saw like a progression, right? I hope that you've seen growth, a progression in what it is that I do. I really hope that. I do. I do. Definitely seeing growth. That's all that matters. Thank you. That means a lot. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Here we go.
How they're going to be, what they're going to do, how they're going to behave. And that's in a picture in their head. And we have a higher expectation sometimes of those around us than we do of ourselves. And we give ourselves sometimes more grace than we do those around us. But those around us, they do not get the memo as to how we expect them to behave today.
And again, the voice of reason, Zoe Williams, live from Lamert Park. You already know what it is. KBLA Talk 1580. You already know how we get down. Unapologetically progressive here. And I was going to say aggressively progressive, but it's fine. I'm going to stick with the tagline. The voice of reason is on complete fire. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we play too much with people. We're selfish. We're greedy. We want what's best for us, and we will lie still and kill to do what's best for us. We will perform like we care. We will manipulate. We will obfuscate. We will do anything by any means necessary to bring ourselves quiet. But when it's time to really cultivate inward peace, which is to confront oneself, who you are, the demons that you allowed to become the chief architects of your identity, right? When it's time to confront that, We don't want to deal with that. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to face self. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Let me ask again, or let me state it this way. It's okay. I'm not talking about putting down, having a stable social life in terms of finances, in terms of education, in terms of career. I'm not talking about that. Sure, we all need that, and that's fine. But can we be honest with ourselves? Have we aggrandized its importance? Have we been so manipulated and bamboozled by capitalism and materialism that we kind of marginalize spiritualism in the environment of intimate relationships? Just a minute ago, I said, we're dominated by patterns. And if somebody was self-unaware while they were sitting, right, in the potter's house, oh, mama, my primary caregiver, daddy, they are the potters, right? And if they were not attuned to our needs while molding us like clay, they're setting us up to carry on as opposed to move on, carry on generational curses, when we come forward. The voice of reason. You think I'm done? What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Phone lines will be open and I want to talk to you. 1-800-920-1580. Gilbreth, thank you, brother. He sent me a Cash App as well as Thank you, brother. He sent me a Cash App as well as Question H. Question H is, Sister Girl is super consistent too. Can I get everybody to thank the Cash Appers? They went to my Cash App. We got 2 Cash Apps and we got 1 Super Chat. A Cash App and a Super Chat was sent by one man, John Gilbreth. And then, of course, Question H, she is always consistent. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful. If you're thankful or grateful for this message tonight, maybe you could do the same. We asking for the minimum amount. 50 people drop $3, $5. Means a lot. My Cash App is $Zo-What-Netter.
At KBLA Talk 1580.
So, I only sent it to Attila. Enjoy the fish sandwich. Thank you, brother. I only sent it to Attila. But I don't know who, but on my Facebook, somebody who's been following me for quite some time, but I don't know them. I don't know them personally. They sent me a song last night. I sent it to Attila and a few of my close friends. When I tell you, the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I hear this song. Right? I hear this song. And the song they sent me is like 5 million times better than this song. It's so good I want to play it, but it's messy and petty. I can't play it.
Black love love still exists. What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. Are you dating a fat person? Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the child wasn't here, and you still had to pay child support?
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, listen, this okay, wall there.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. I hit you with a bad vibes routine. How does he maintain his humosity?
I need some callers. Can I get 2 callers? Call in. 1-800-920-1580. I need 2 callers. Call in.
So Mel,
So Williams, reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
Have you ever gone through something difficult that you felt like changed you? Like it left a mark that just wouldn't go away? That's the reality of trauma. It doesn't just affect your emotions, it actually reshapes your brain. But here's the hopeful part. That reshaping goes both ways. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I help you strengthen your mind, fortify your brain, and build resilience. In today's video, we're going to look at what trauma really does to the brain and how healing is not only possible, but can lead to what's called post-traumatic growth. We'll talk about the science behind how the brain recovers and the kind of tools that help rewire the trauma response. This video is part of a module on overcoming setbacks that's part of my resilience series. And so far, we've talked about bouncing back from disruption and learning from mistakes. Now we're going deeper to the moments that feel like they altered who you are. Before we dive into the brain, it's helpful to understand what trauma actually is. Trauma isn't just about having a bad experience or a very upsetting experience. It's when something overwhelms your nervous system's ability to cope, leaving you feeling helpless, unsafe, or like you've completely lost control. Let's begin with what's happening in your brain when you experience trauma. When you go through a traumatic experience, especially one that involves fear, helplessness, or a threat to your safety, your brain goes into survival mode, and that survival mode leaves fingerprints on 3 major areas of your brain. First, the amygdala. This is your brain's threat detector. It's like a smoke alarm that sounds the alarm or sounds an alert when something dangerous is happening. During trauma, the amygdala becomes hyperactive, and long after the event is over, it can stay that way. And that's why people who've experienced trauma often feel constantly on edge or overreact to things that seem minor to other people. Their alarm system becomes overly sensitive. Next is the hippocampus. This area helps form and organize memories, but trauma disrupts this process. Instead of a clear, cohesive memory, you get fragmented, disorganized impressions, and some details may be missing entirely, while others, like sound or a smell that was associated, can be overwhelmingly vivid. And this is why trauma memories often feel fragmented, like scattered puzzle pieces that don't fit together. Over time, chronic stress can even shrink the hippocampus, which is one reason why memory problems are common after trauma. Then there's the prefrontal cortex, and this is your brain's CEO, the part responsible for logic, planning, and emotional regulation. When you're in survival mode, your prefrontal cortex takes a back seat. The amygdala says, "We're in danger," and the prefrontal cortex is temporarily shut down so that you can react fast. But after trauma, this imbalance can become chronic. You may struggle to focus, regulate your emotions, or make decisions because your thinking brain isn't fully online. So what does all this mean? It means trauma isn't just psychological, it's neurological. It changes the way your brain functions, and that's why trauma recovery isn't just about moving on. It's about helping your brain feel safe again and rewiring those disrupted pathways. And here's something important to remember. These aren't signs that you're broken. These are survival adaptations. Your brain responded the way that it was designed to protect you in the moment. And these same mechanisms that helped you survive can also help you recover. And your brain...
Man, Dr. Tracy Marks, man, she be cooking with the rarest oils. Truffle oil, saffron oil. Like, she cooks with the good stuff. She's saying the same thing. Patterns. You understand? Imprints. right? Imprinted on those three aspects of the brain. We're talking tonight, right, about what we bring to the proverbial psycho-spiritual table. Everybody else is worried about the social table, the societal table, the financial table. Oh, just be nice to me. He got to be kind. Listen. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. But most kind people, and I'm talking about the kind people and not the nice people. Most kind people are rare. You're going to run into a lot of nice people. Nice is a performance of kindness. You know how many broken dudes out here will be nice during the vetting out period and then pop out and show themselves later? Come on, man. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Women do it too. Women do it too. Will show up as the nurturing, kind, loving sweetheart until they get a real sense of your finances. I'm not saying all women. And there's a type of woman out there like that, just like there's a type of man out there like that. Can we be honest? Nobody wants. Okay. I'm saying, hopefully we bring nothing to the table. And you say, well, Zoe, how is nothing valuable? I'm speaking psychologically. And you say, oh, well, that's impossible, Zoe. No one can do that, right? And I beg to differ, right? Our good friend, Jay Krishnamurti, is famous. He's famous, right, for a famous speech, right? And this speech was quite profound. Speech happened, I think, in August. It was August 3rd, 1929. I thought it was 1928, but I think it was 1929. And in front of 3,000 members, Krishnamurti disbanded a spiritual organization that was built around him with a famous speech called "Truth is a Pathless Land." I maintain that truth is a pathless land, and you cannot approach it by any path whatsoever, by any religion, by any sect. This is my point of view, and I adhere to that absolutely and unconditionally. Truth being limitless, unconditioned, unapproachable by any path whatsoever cannot be organized, nor should any organization be formed to lead or coerce people along any particular path. If you first understand that, then you will see how impossible it is to organize a belief. A belief is purely an individual matter, and you cannot and must not organize it. If you do, it becomes dead, crystallized. It becomes a creed, a sect, a religion, something to be imposed on others. This is what everyone throughout the world is attempting to do. The truth is narrowed down and made a plaything for those who are weak, for those who are only momentarily discontented. Oh my goodness. Truth cannot be broken down. Rather, the individual must make the effort to ascend to it. Truth is not going to bend its knee to your low level of consciousness. This is the great Krishnamurti. What do you bring to the psycho-spiritual table? Hopefully nothing. This is what he means by truth is a pathless land. This is how you tap into that which is unconditional. Nothing but your frequency, your felt presence, and right? A plate that's finally been clean. You've never been in a relationship with a clean slate, and you've hidden your dirty plates from your new partner. Tell the truth, right? Am I? Not because you were told to do it. You wasn't told to clean the plate, but because you are no longer hungry for illusions. Only truth will nourish you now. And perhaps in this great unburdening of self, you'll discover it was never about what you brought to the table. It was about what you were willing to leave behind. The sacred sink. Spiritual hygiene as the new relational currency. Are your unwashed emotions? I'm not gonna do that to y'all right now. We got callers on the line. Let's get some callers in here. I'll come back to that. The voice of reason is on complete fire tonight. Let's get them in here. Nelton from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What's going on, big bro?
Man.
You've been speaking to me this week, bro. I'm telling you, man. So when it comes to performative, right, I was raised by women my whole entire life. Moms, older sister, cousins, aunts, right? So I went into my first marriage thinking, okay, as long as I kept the woman happy, happy wife, happy life, everything should be okay. Mm-hmm. Man, boy, was I wrong. Because I had an affinity for women, right? Mm-hmm. I had a problem challenging women or standing up for myself when it came to women. Mm-hmm. And I saw the problem that it caused for me throughout my 20s, my early 30s. So, man, this fire topic right here, man.
Well, no, flip it invert. Don't say standing up to women, right? Say standing up for myself.
Yeah.
Do you see? Yes. Because it ain't about standing up to women. That a man doesn't have to stand up to a woman. No. But a man must stand for himself. Right?
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yes.
And that's the only thing I hear what you're saying. And I get it. It's a process to learn that. Sometimes you get bits and pieces, right? Right? Like, oh, that's how you see me? Oh, you see me as weak? Like, if I'm not mistaken, right? If I'm not mistaken, your wife said this, right? And was like, nah, you got to, you see what I'm saying? So again, sometimes you get bits and pieces being reflected back to you from your partner. Your partner is telling you, hey, if you keep acting like this, I can't be around. Do you see? I think you're stronger than this, and you're capitulating when you don't have to. That's standing up for yourself. That's not standing up to them. What you don't want to do is internalize or internally villainize them, women, right? You don't want to internally villainize them. Like, oh, women, I got to stand up to women. No, I have to stand up for myself when I'm being taken advantage of or when someone is crossing my boundaries. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, for sure. And I noticed that every time I did capitulate, I lost a piece of myself. Right.
Sure.
And I didn't understand what that was or why I was feeling like that, but I was like, I'm doing the right thing. Like, I'm the good guy. I'm the nice guy, right?
Right. Right.
Selling myself short.
And the information that I'm giving you isn't gender specific. It's for women too, because there are women who don't know how to stand up for themselves. Right? It's you understand what I'm saying? But I'm applying this axiom to you because what happens is, yes, it's one thing to respect women. Sure, as men, we should all respect women, and that is a spiritual thing, right? There's something spiritual in respecting women, and a lot of brothers in this society, not of their own making, not of their own fault, right, have been conditioned to disrespect women. But I'm telling you, there's a spiritual payoff in respecting women, right? That is the womb of the universe. That's what they represent. Now, whether they're healed, whether they're individuated, whether they've done, they've conquered demons within themselves or not, that's their individual path. But every woman you meet, right, is a physical manifestation of this universal portal. And again, if you're having problems with them, trust me, it is pointing back to issues in you. This is how you wind up in the same space as them. You say, how did I get this woman? What in the world? How did she come into my life? Then your other mirror, your wife goes, you better stop that or I gotta bounce. Right? Right? So the wife is representing your healing process, and she's going, hey, wait a minute. You bending the knee to that kind of behavior? Do you see? Do you see? So this is how this works. Now, your wife is saying, get over to that sacred sink and get your spiritual hygiene together. Right? Are your unwashed emotional dishes contaminating your connections? Listen, brother, if you keep bending the knee to this toxic person, you keep belittling your spirit in front of me, I've got to leave. Do you see? Hey, man, stay with me. When we don't leave, when we come forward, the voice of reason go keep cooking. Let's go.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear.
That's great stuff. I love it. Oh, Lloyd Hinton, my bad. I just saw that. Oh, Lloyd Hinton, my bad. I just saw that. Lloyd, thank you for the Cash App. We got 3 Cash Apps. Question H, John Gilbreth, and Lloyd Hinton. I just saw you, Lloyd. Thank you. Please shout out Lloyd. Are we cooking tonight? Is this topic resonating with your spirit? Show's almost over. Black inventors make the world go round. Davey Lee, what up, young man? Ooh, I'm staying on point. No argument from me.
What are emotions? Emotions are sensations, aren't they? You see a lovely car, or a beautiful house, or a beautiful woman, or a man, and the sensory perception awakens the senses, isn't it? Senses, then what takes place? Contact, right? Contact, then desire. Now, thought then comes in, right? Can you end, please listen to me, can you end, say, there, and not let thought come in and take over?
Man, I love Krishnamurti, man. Y'all know, hey, I'm sorry. I got a bunch of favorites. But I think he's Hank Hill. He's king of the hill. Bobby. We're talking about it right now. What you bring to the psycho-spiritual table, man. And it's very heavy. I got a brother on right now, and he's sharing some insight. And I hope you guys are all picking up on it. Nelton from Houston, Texas. Nelton. So you hear what I'm saying about how relationship as a mirror, in one relationship mirrored some brokenness or dysfunction in you, and then in another relationship, maybe because you healed a little bit, you up-leveled in order to get your wife, right? She was able to call out some further work that you needed to do, something that you needed to clean, as I use the metaphor of the sacred sink, right? Spiritual hygiene as the new relational currency. So now my question to you is she still an advocate for your higher evolution, and has the relationship gotten stronger because you took her advice on that?
Man, Big Brother, let me tell you, yes. And a real big piece, it happened almost a year and a half ago. I was going to stop paying child support because I was tired of not seeing my kids, but still had to pay my child support because I'm passive aggressive by nature. I wasn't going to say nothing to her because I knew what she was going to say to me. So the month came, and then she ended up asking me, she was like, you pay child support? And I couldn't lie to her, of course, because we share bank accounts. So I was like, man, I don't want to pay, man. I'm tired of paying. She was like, no. I understand, but we're not going to do that. That's not who I married. We're not going to block out blessings. But I was so infuriating because she was so right, big bro. But I feel how I felt, and I wanted to just, do the wrong thing for that moment because it made me feel better in that moment.
Right.
But bro, she wasn't having it, dog. She wasn't having it.
I love it. And then it's one more piece. You got to stop saying, I am passive aggressive by nature. When we come forward, I'm going to dig deeper into that. Don't go nowhere, Nelton. This lesson ain't done, Nelton. Nelton. Hey, Nelton. Hey. Stay right there, Nelton. Don't go nowhere. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking. Hey, now's a good time. Go to my Cash App and drop a couple of dollars, $2 or $3, $4, $5, whatever you got. Little bit. My Cash App is $ZoWhatNectar. Do it for the week. Like, hey, all week was crazy. Let's support the brother. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for looking out. Love, 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 love. ZoWhatNectar. I'm finna go get some of this special water. What up? What up? What up? What up? I sure did. Bro, what? No. It's actually not from the Dave Chappelle show, brother. It's from Purple Rain.
Aggressive. Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise.
Blouses.
Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, puff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions.
Absolutely, tapped in.
You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal
Whatever this
services
was
for
good as hell, or I
and
must be
on-demand
hungry.
resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040.
Anybody familiar with this?
Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their home.
Pretty good. This shit was delicious. And I got graham cracker peanut butter in my teeth. I don't like it. Swanko.
Nervous system regulation until someone hits your trigger, then you're launching emotional nukes like it's the apocalypse. You've sent those dissertation texts, done the spiritual disappearing act, dressed up meltdowns as processing collective trauma. You're having a tantrum and your amygdala's driving. You want a conscious relationship, but think consciousness is doing breath work before you systematically destroy someone's peace and journaling about your triggers instead of actually catching yourself when your wounded inner child starts throwing. Real self-regulation? Feel your feelings without turning them into weapons. It's, I'm about to lose it, so I'm stepping back. Not, you broke me, now fix it. This isn't stuffing down your emotions. It's not making your nervous system everyone else's natural disaster. Deb Dana's polyvagal work nailed it. Safety isn't conflict-free bubble wrap. It's co-regulation. But that doesn't mean dragging people through your psychological house of mirrors without a map. Sometimes the sexiest thing you can say is, I'm spiraling and don't trust my mouth right now. That's not weakness. That's evolution in real time instead of making your growth everyone else's problem. Because your dysregulation shouldn't have to be their emergency.
Wow. Hey, man, Dog Man is legend. Can you imagine if that was a TV show on Fox? That would be the #1 TV show. I would watch Dog Man. A dog as a therapist, and he's solving people's problems. Somebody gonna steal this and write it, right? It's your idea now. Dog Man as a therapist would be cold-blooded. It would be like a cartoon version of Frasier, but only less about Frasier. But he was cooking. I loved it. Let me get Nelton back in here. I want to get his final thoughts on what we were talking about. Nelton? Yes. So you were making a statement, and I wanted you to give us your final thought on the statement that you were making. What do you mean you prepare for it? So it's a defense mechanism. Okay. So, but you do know that was there to protect you as a child. But now you're a married man with kids. Now, you think they have ever seen you be passive aggressive? Do you think they're modeling that passive aggressiveness? Do you think they will? Do you think they will use that as a conflict resolution strategy because they've seen Dad do it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. You know, because I always have the model that, you know, assume that everybody's watching it all the time. So.
Do you think you would like to undo it while are they young or are they grown?
Young, 14 to 11.
Oh, so they done had some years. Well, it's never too late. It's never too late, though. You have to turn it around. I've always said this. If you present in a negative way in front of children, I think it's important to give them the opposite experience. They have to have a full circle experience. They can't just have the bad side of dad. Dad is unaware. Dad is acting out. Dad's being passive aggressive. There has to be a side where dad kind of confronts himself in front of them. This was wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? And now they're seeing, oh, he's aware of that. Whoa, he don't like that. Oh, he's bringing it to us. I've always tried to create full circle moments for my children. If they saw me lose my cool, especially on the basketball courts, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had to rectify that. We had to have a full circle moment. He had to, my oldest, who's a ball player now, had to see peace be made, had to see apologies made, had to see acknowledgments of wrongdoing, right? In order to have another point of reference, another frame of reference to say, oh, dad is not just doing these things. He doesn't like them, and he's working to heal them. See, healing in front of your kids, that's a powerful thing. You understand? So they can model healing, right? Because again, we're pattern making machines. So if all we have is the infraction and not the correction, do you see? Do you see the pattern that we're establishing? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%.
All right, Brother Nelson, guess what you just did?
H-Town in the building once again.
Come on, Houston, Texas is on the board. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580 when we come forward. Oh, I got time. Then we go on to Mountain View, Hawaii. John. Come on, Pastor John. Pastor John.
Oh,
Here we go.
The interruption, and sorry for the pause. I do have live ranges, but let me get this in briefly.
There we go.
The deadly job of choosing your purpose means you have to accept the tools you didn't pick up.
Ooh. Does that mean accept that you don't have them?
Well, if you was claiming the tools you're already using, they're the wrong tools.
Keep going. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Tell them to stand by. Tell them to stand by.
All right.
No. I'm telling the officers and Marines to stand by.
I got you.
Okay. Let me try and make this quick. Because again, it's first off, as a human being, in the eyes of God, you have no lack.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, and furthermore, why are you trying to claim somebody else brings something to the table when, again, you're using the wrong tools at the wrong table? If you have no lack, that means you have everything you have need of. So do they. What happened to you giving them the grace to bring that tool to the table, or at least you pointing it out since you got the mirror?
Since you got the mirror. Okay. Uh-huh.
Briefly.
Come on.
If love has baggage, if love has baggage, bring the rest of the truck and unhaul it.
I love your approach. Your approach is practical. Your approach is we got work. Let's get to it.
We all do. So unload this truck. Now realize the tool that you actually have. Space and opportunity. And the blessing that has always been provided to you in love through him. I'm done.
I love it, man. You just brought Mountain View, Hawaii in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going back to Houston, Texas, because we got one of our favorites on the line. Let's get it.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth.
Nobody was buffering. I was just checking. Look, me jumping off to go check. Are we good? So when I go check, it buffers for you guys? Does it do this? Ah, I didn't know that. So maybe I won't check. I didn't know that. Something new. You learn something new every day. Right, right. You come back once you're done checking things out.
When it comes to the way that things are created in our world and how they travel through our energy system, we can think about the inspiration comes in through the crown, right? Then it drops into the third eye. And this is where you get the vision for whatever it is that wants to be created, that you want to create. Then it comes into the throat. And you say to yourself, will I make it manifest? Will I do it? The throat is willpower. Power. Will I do it? You say yes. It goes into the heart. And you say, well, how do I feel about that? I want to, but how do I feel about it? But also thinking about, as your inspiration travels through, if these areas are blocked, it's going to hit blockages. And this is where the baggage has to be unpacked through each and every one of your energy centers in order to make it through your root where it hits physical. So the heart, how do I feel about that? Okay, I ain't got no wounding here. We good? No wounding around that at least. All right, cool. We can travel down. The solar plexus now asks, can I do it? Am I worthy? Am I enough? And this right here is where so many people's creations start to get slowed down. So say, you do that, you unpack the baggage. Now, the sacral chakra, it comes in, and again, you ask that question, well, what will that actually cost me to have it? What do I have to give up to have it? I gotta set better boundaries. Right here, this is where it's birthed. And then it hits the ground with the root. Now it's in the physical. And now it's like, am I able to be persistent, consistent? Am I able to be consistent with it? This requires action from me. So that's the process. If we think about this energetically, that's the process of creation. So I would ask.
Hey, I loved her chakra breakdown of it in terms of cleansing the baggage, releasing of baggage, processing baggage. I loved every bit of that. Who was that, Andy? In the name of sweet baby sweet baby Ray's. Anyway, my niece is on the line. I want to get my niece in here. I already know my niece is going to cook with the rarest grease. Attila Phillips from Houston, Texas is on the line. What are your thoughts on this topic tonight?
Yes, sir. So to give you some insight, that lady's name is Zemi Oasis. That's a TikTok video. I will post it in the comments.
Zemi Oasis.
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Which is totally fitting for what she said. But I want to talk about something real quick because it honestly is perfect and matches what she said. So there was a comment made in the chat by Diamond Blue, and he says, if a woman says she's leaving, hasn't she left already in her mind? Maybe.
Maybe not.
Right? You factor in attachment styles, doesn't always work like that. The dismissive avoidant, yes, she didn't live. She's gone. The anxious preoccupied is the one that's going to be begging you to stay. But that's neither here nor there. I think there is a distinction that needs to be made with heart and head coherence.
Talk to us.
Right? Heart and mind coherence. When she's talking about the chakras, right, it's really important that we learn to address that our hearts and minds need to be in alignment with one another, because you'll find yourself making decisions from ego and calling it logic. So, I mean, I'm honestly kind of speaking to my brothers on this because...
Talk to us.
Well, I'm just saying, there's a heavy onloading of logic. Everything is about this logic and stoicism and things like that. None of that saves you from your wounds, though. If your heart is not in alignment with what you're thinking, I don't care how many stoic, mantras you want to repeat, you're going to find yourself in the same situation with a dirty table. Wow. Dirty psycho-spiritual table.
I believe it. But men, you know how men are. Come on, you know.
So?
We're stubborn. And not only are we stubborn, but sometimes, and I'm saying men who are unhealed, for the most part, they don't like listening to women.
I mean, men don't like listening to men, to tell the truth. If it's not comforting your ego or telling you what you want to hear, I don't want to hear that.
I'm just telling you the truth, niece. Sometimes we be so stubborn, we're resistant to healing. We might even attract a good woman who'll be like, hey, check it out, look into that. And we'll be like, lady, listen, just make sure there's no lumps in the cream of wheat. That's it. Focus on that.
Right, so you can make your own cream of wheat. And
crying in it.
Mix it with some tears that you're going to have because you done lost your woman. I mean, like, to me, that's a personal choice.
No, that's true, though. It's true, yeah.
That's the choice that you made. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, though, right, why is the focus on whether or not someone is leaving and whether or not you're staying within yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is the focus external and not internal?
It should always be internal, but we're not taught.
Right.
Yeah, we're not taught to look inward. Inward is ugly. I mean, listen.
Absolutely.
We're taught that the shadow is dark and black and ugly and repressed and all of this and that. That's not a place people want to go to. And so what happens is it's the cave. It's the allegory of the cave. I'm not going in there. What? Now imagine you got a woman that's telling you, go into the cave. Huh? Now she's attacking you. Do you see?
Well, and then what's interesting is she might tell you she'll walk with you into the cave and you'd still refuse.
Exactly.
You have to walk in there regardless. It doesn't really make a difference.
But that's what I mean.
But
most of us are self-avoidant, men and women.
Yes.
And
yes,
if a self-avoidant man happens to find a woman who would walk with him in his cave, he's going to see that as a setup because he's not healed. Right, it's an attack. Like, no, you're trying to get me to go here, and I've been pushing this down. But we had a great example of it tonight in Nelton. His wife helped him see through it. Make sense?
Well, I mean, that's how the verse goes. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. I mean, but I guess my question is, like, where's your vision focused, right? Like, As long as your vision is external, you won't even see the life anyway.
100%. 100%. Well, you already know what you did, young lady.
I brought you in the building.
Yeah. Hey, this was a great week. I appreciate you, niece. And when we come forward, we gonna do nothing but more heat for next week. I got so many topics, man. I mean, my niece is a topic machine, like iMac. Do we still have iMacs? Anyway, let me ask you this, Andy. I know I had a song on there. Was there another dinner party record? I love my playlist. Do you love the playlist? I try to, diversify the playlist with different types of music. Should we do a rock playlist, Andy, one day? They not ready for my rock taste, but listen, I'm the voice of reason. I start the conversations. It's really up to you to finish them. We had a great week this week, and I will see you next week with a whole slew of new topics to titillate your thought process. All right, deuces. All right. Your brother Zoe Williams is gone. Deuces.